Today we're going to talk about the M word, macros. Eek! Hi, I'm Casey Durango. I talk about the ketogenic diet, how I've lost 95.4 pounds, and how others might be able to lose weight, improve their health, and regain control of their lives. Today I want to talk about macros. I bet you hadn't even heard the phrase macros before recently. I know I had not really paid any attention to that. It stands for macronutrient. And I knew macronutrient was a word, but I didn't know what it meant when I started the ketogenic diet. And I didn't pay any attention to them. Macronutrients are the components of food. There are three: fat, protein, carbohydrate. And so anything we eat has one or two or none, one or two or something of those combinations. A lot of folks have decided that the ratio of our fat and protein and carbohydrate is what's magic about the ketogenic diet. I will tell you from my experience, please keep in mind this is my experience, you might be really, really happy with looking at pie charts and apps and calculating percentages of fat and protein and carbohydrate. But for me, all I ever did was keep my carbs at 20 grams a day or fewer. That was pretty much it. Ate from the allowed food list, which is fatty sources of protein with some forms of some fat, but not adding fat for fat's sake. Some butter on vegetables, some olive oil drizzled on a salad, half an avocado, full-fat cheese, full-fat cream, but not adding fat. I mean, it'd be fun to do that, I guess, but it's not necessarily going to be effective for you. And the other thing is the ratios of the fat to protein are what people seem to get a little stressed out over. If you eat fatty sources of protein, keep your carbs at 20 grams or fewer a day, and you eat only when hungry and stop when satisfied, the rest of the numbers will tend to take care of themselves. So keeping it simple worked for me. I follow the program of Dr. Eric Westman at Duke, and I saw his white coat video. If you look in my playlist below, you can see it's the first video I put in there. It's what got me started on this. He doesn't mention the word macronutrient, macro, at all. He doesn't talk about percentages of fat and protein. He doesn't talk about eating too much protein starts to be metabolized like a carbohydrate. The truth is, humans don't generally like to overeat protein. Left to our own devices, we tend to not feel well if we overeat pure protein. If you've ever tried a really low-fat diet, maybe you've been on the iceberg lettuce and the skinless chicken breast route. After a few skinless chicken breasts, which are just pretty much protein, it's gross. So we will tend to balance that out anyway, but just choose your sources of protein with their naturally occurring fats. So the skin on the chicken breast, the skin on the chicken thigh, even better. Pork chops with the fat, bacon. Get a ribeye, not a filet mignon. Eggs with the yolks, not egg whites. Full-fat cheese and sour cream. You will find that it's not only a very luxurious and satisfying way to eat, your numbers will just fall out where they're supposed to be. If you like the math, do the math. I love data. I have got a spreadsheet that I would stand up against anyone's that has hundreds of thousands of fields of data that I've kept over the years on measuring many, many things. But I never measured those things. Never paid attention. Wasn't necessary. Kept my carbs below 20. Ate fatty sources of protein and some cheese, some eggs and things like that. If you go into my Instagram or my Fitness Pal, you can see photos of food that I post, and you can follow what I eat. I post pretty regularly. I don't ever look at the fat and protein. Do it if you like it. But don't stress over it. If it's getting in your way, forget about it. Keep your grams of carb 20 or fewer. And eat only when hungry. That's it. That's all you need to do. Do more if you like. Be more precise if you like. If the structure helps you, fantastic. But if it doesn't, if it confuses you, just step back and say it with me. Keep your carbs below 20, eat fatty sources of protein, and eat only when hungry. That's it. And that is what has worked for me. And I'm hearing from more and more people that's what's working for them. So good luck to you. Make it a great evening if you're seeing this at night, a great day if you're seeing it in the morning. Be kind to yourself and know that this works. Find what works for you and stick with it. When it stops working, tweak it. There are tweaks that can be made as you lose weight and your body becomes smaller and your caloric needs change. And you become older, which we all do. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the support. See you later.